Hey, welcome back everyone. It is time for another red hot covered call video. Hey look, today we're going to talk about a lot of things. I'm going to show you 5 of my trades. We're going to talk about the overall stock market and what I'm doing. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek of the CPT Dashboard. Man, I am excited. And even in these super volatile times in the stock market, I am having fun. Look, I have been here many times before, and I've told you cats the whole way. We want to get our financial education and our experience, because when you have experience, you understand that times like these happen. That's how Wall Street makes their money. Stocks go up, they have to sell them to take profits, and that's what they're doing. Now, I'm not saying there aren't worries about interest rate hikes, the economy heating up too quickly, and all that unbelievable volatility. Like I said in my last video, this is a great time to have patience and really make good decisions. So hey, look, before we get going, if you like what we're doing here at the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you like this video today, bang that like button. All right, look, the Dow has absolutely sold off about 10%. And boy, everybody is running for the doors. Look, we want to keep this in perspective. See, these little sell-offs are normal. I'm looking at this long term. And to me, this market is acting very normal. Now, I don't like the fact that we might have high interest rates. We might have an overheating economy that might cause inflation. Look, at the end of the day, I'm not an expert. All I can do is just focus on what I do best. And what I do best is I have patience, make good decisions, whether that's in good times or bad. That could mean sitting on my hands, not doing anything. That could be writing a cash secured put at a support line. Or that could be writing a cover call when it presents itself. Now look, for everybody that's screaming fire, you know, this is your .com crash, this is your real estate crash. Look at this little tiny 10% move to the downside. You know, every expert will tell you that you have to have these little corrections, or you have to have little pullbacks of 5%, corrections of 10%. That makes for healthy trading, because when you start to get all that froth in the stock market, you know, Wall Street just doesn't know where the bottom is. They don't know where the bottom is. So when it falls with violence until they find that double bottom, and then they rally up. We may have seen a double bottom this past week. You know, on Tuesday, the Dow crashed 1,500 points, then it rallied, then it retested those lows and it rallied. And then of course, we're all over the board on Friday, because now they've tested that double bottom. Wall Street may feel that they know where the bottom's at, and they're going to trade that bottom. It's what they do. Now let's talk about what I've been doing. Look, it's only 10 days into February, and I'm already at about $8,000. The volatility is crazy, and the option premiums are off the board. So I have been able to write covered calls, sell cash secured puts, buy them back, write them again. It has been an absolute wonderful time if you're selling premium. Now, with that said, and like I've always told you, we own the stock and we own the cash. So at the end of the day, we own the risk of holding the stock in cash. So look, stocks are going to go up, they're going to go down. At the end of the day, we have to make great decisions, have to own great stocks. If we're going to sell cash secured puts, we have to make sure we do it on the stocks we want to own. Because as you'll find out in my very first trade, I now own a stock that I wrote a cash secured put on, and I better want to own it. And that first one is the one that I talked about on Tuesday. See, CVS is a great company. You know, the big deal with CVS is that obviously Amazon is the evil empire when it comes to anything in retail these days. And CVS is no exception. The Amazon dark cloud is going to cover a wide range of companies and stocks. Well, in the case of CVS, it actually fell off, it rallied. I like that base. Man, when it fall off here, I'm thinking, look, find that support line, which was a 75 at the time, and just write that cash secured put. I actually thought it would have rebounded and head a little bit higher following this line of support right here. Well, I was wrong. And of course, we had that 10% sell-off in the stock market. So in this case, my cash secured put for 75, I actually end up being assigned the shares. So come Monday, I'm going to own CVS. I better have a strategy in place because now I own CVS in a loss position. So look, even though I used those support lines to try to cherry pick that cash secured put, I found myself in a bad situation. So I better want to own CVS. So before I wrote that cash secured put, I said to myself, do I want to own CVS? Yes, I do. I'd like to own it cheaper. I'll write the cash secured put. Now, if it would have turned positive, you know me. I'll take that premium, pocket it, we move on to the next trade. This one didn't work out for me. One that did work out for me was Chevron. Now, Chevron has been absolutely rallying, and it hit a high of 130. Unbelievable. I used to own Chevron back in the 90s, and I even recently bought Chevron back at 105 and wrote a juicy cover call making profits. Well, Chevron had gotten away from me. As you can see, it based and rallied higher. Recent earnings came out, and look what we get. We get a sell-off, then the markets tank. We get another sell-off. So when Chevron was down $7 on Tuesday, I slip in and buy some shares, 113, and I wrote that 117 cover call. I end up picking up $1.80 in a nice 30-day window. See, I picked the March expiration. The dividend comes out a couple days before. I actually may have my shares taken away, even if it's not at the strike price, because Chevron pays like $1.14 in dividend. So that is going to be one that'll be interesting to see because they may take my shares early because of the dividend. Now, Whirlpool is one that you know that I love. Now, I just recently sold Whirlpool at 180. Yes, 180. I had owned it way back here, and my cost basis after writing all those covered calls and cash secured puts was about 161. I mentioned that. I originally bought it, if you remember, back on a cash secured put that I had the shares assigned to me at 180 when the stock was trading at 170. Then I bought some to dollar cost average down, and then I started trading it. And Whirlpool picks up some steam and starts to head north. I was able to use that opportunity to sell the shares at a profit. But look, Whirlpool fell with this recent sell-off, and I'm sitting there saying, look, I have played Whirlpool now for 2 years, and I know when Whirlpool gets down to here, Wall Street likes to buy it up. Will they buy it up? I'm hoping, because now I have a cash secured put out there on Whirlpool at 167.50. Yes, when Whirlpool was trading at 167, I stuck it in for a nice cash secured put, getting $5 for this trade. So I got $5 for a 167.5 cash secured put, and if I'm assigned Whirlpool shares, that's all right with me. This is one that I have no problems holding, and I hope it goes higher. And if it does go higher, I pocket that $5, we move on. Now I'm back in Microsoft. I've always told you cats I love Microsoft for my weekly cover calls. Why? Because Microsoft has so much volume, they have so many options, and they pay a decent premium on a weekly basis. I can usually get weekly premiums the same as monthly premiums with Microsoft. And the volatility has been so crazy, I end up buying Microsoft as it falls off. It was down like $3. So it fell all the way down to 87x. Well, they have had unbelievable earnings. Microsoft right now is one that Wall Street absolutely buys back up. So I had no fear sticking it in on Microsoft at 87x. And what was the first thing I did the very next day when it was rallying $2? Well, of course, I wrote that 88 covered call for a $1.25. Usually for this type of trade with Microsoft, I would get maybe 60 cents. The volatility has caused option prices to be jacked up, higher, lower, it doesn't matter. Well, I got 125 for this. For 5 days, this is a 2.5% trade. And hey, look, Microsoft is already over 88. So I'm going to be able to have my shares taken away, I pick up the 2.5%, and we move on. Or I could use an exit strategy and then write another covered call, generating that weekly income, just adding to the cash printing machine. This very conservative strategy of writing covered calls and selling cash secured put could be something that might work for you. But again, we have to get our financial education. We have to get our experience. Talk about that all the time. let's jump over to the CPT dashboard. I want to show you a couple things. First of all, this week you will be able to download the CPT dashboard. Now let me show you what that looks like. So the CPT dashboard is something I created. This is a homegrown product. Hey, look, if anything you know about me, I use spreadsheets. I use spreadsheets to keep the numbers in front of me because this is a numbers game. Well, hey, look, I've told you, and this is absolutely genuine, I paid for all those very expensive monthly services. I paid for the $50 groom list. I paid for the $50 a month software. I even kicked down a couple hundred bills for some trader with his magic mojo. What I really needed was a research tool. See, those folks have services. They put in their time, so they deserve to be paid. But from my experience, the secret sauce they gave just did not help me. Now, with that said, I went into the lab and said, look, if I'm gonna create a spreadsheet for all these other things I do, let's create a research spreadsheet to where I can sort symbols that I wanna use and just create this awesome dashboard of research and sort it so it becomes interactive. And I used colors to jump out at me. I wanna see the colors so I avoid certain stocks. Or maybe if I sort a stock by price, that would give me the feedback I want to maybe research the stock. So many people ask me in email and comments, hey John, how do you find great stocks? What is your process for finding a great covered call or cash secure put stock? Well, it begins with the CTP dashboard, and I'm going to offer that up for free. I am going to have an upgraded version. The upgraded version is going to have an upgraded tab in the spreadsheet that's going to have exclusive content. Look, I'm not going to sell you on nothing. You either want it or you don't, because at the end of the day, this is a skill, and I want to have all of my tools in my toolkit before I go out and do this stuff. So I'm going to offer up the CPT dashboard for free, but if you want the upgraded tab, I'm going to have a link in there where you could sign up for that. I even provide an how to use video. See, this CPT dashboard is going to be interactive. Not only does the CTP dashboard have all the links and all the research in front of you, I'm going to make it web-based, and I'm going to highlight the stocks here that I talk about. So the CTP dashboard is a great place to just come in, check it out. Maybe it turns you on, maybe it doesn't. Hey, look, I'm going to offer it up for free. That's what we do here. We offer it up for free. So, hey, look, I hope you like this video. I hope you enjoyed the trades that I made and why I made them. Look, in these times of volatile stock markets, it is important to have your emotions in check. You know, I always tell the story. Back when I started playing Texas Hold'em poker in 2004 and 2005, I would get super emotional. Man, I'd be at the poker table, and if I won, I'd get up, I'd run around. You know that guy, right? Well, then I started playing online poker quite a bit. And as I got more experience, seeing more hands, experiencing more action, slowly but surely I got less emotional. Why? Because I had experienced it all. And when I would hit the big hand or get busted out, it's as if I had already been there before. And guess what? I was there before. Well, it's the same with the stock market. I have been through the booms and busts since 1997. And the one thing I can tell you is during these times, it is easy to make a bad decision. Look, find that trusted friend. Find that mentor that you could ask questions to, bounce ideas off of. Remember my last video? Great minds talk about ideas? Well, this is the time that you want to be talking about ideas. I hope you make good decisions. Hey, look, before I go, if you like this video, man, bang that like button. And hey, until next time, I hope all your covered calls are profitable.
All I see is signs, all I see is dollar signs.